Yeah. Like I said, I love Persona. Granted, I haven't even platinumed Golden yet, which is my personal favorite game. Like, I do like 5 more as a game, but 4 has a lot of memories for me, so yeah.
Yeah, I only recently got into the Persona series, but I love it to death.
Like, my history with Persona is, Let's Player called Super Genius was in a TRG video. Alright, let's check out his channel. Currently, let's play a game called Persona 4 Golden. Okay, thumbnails look interesting. Let's start this LP. And the rest is history. Cue me buying a Vita just to get Persona 4 Golden and just falling in love with Atlas. Of course, I got more games once I got my Vita, like Danganronpa and Gravity Rush.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I have the PS4 remaster of Gravity Rush. Haven't played it much, but it's there.
Yeah, I bought Gravity Rush before the remaster was a thing. Still need to get the sequel. Although right now, like, my priorities for buying games, it goes Danganronpa V3 so I can avoid spoilers as quick as possible, then Super Mario Odyssey, then Mario plus Rabbids, because I'm surprised at how much I want to get that game.
Yeah, it does look surprisingly fun.
Like, never would have expected Mario XCOM.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise.
Yeah, he's done a lot of genres, but tactical shooters is not what I ever expected.
Alright, starting a new game, plus...
what number New Game Plus is this one for this file?
This will be number 3.
Yeah, I ended up platinuming the game within 3 playthroughs. Was gonna try to do it in 2, but I missed one social link by 1 rank.
I'm gonna guess it's Mishima.
No, it was actually Yoshida, because I wasn't focusing on him as much, because I was first focusing on all the ones I didn't max out first playthrough.
This story is a work of fiction.
So like, I already did Mishima, I already did Yoshida, so I was just kind of focusing on spending time with all the ones I didn't already get their key items for. So I could get their bonuses for future New Game Pluses pretty early on.
Yep, that's kind of what I did too.
Yeah, and then like near the end, then like 3rd playthrough was just the max out the social links and get all the like mini game stuff taken care of that I didn't already take care of. I really like the game's Super Boss, like for New Game Pluses.
Oh, you mean the twins?
Yep. Like, I've yet to actually fight Elizabeth or Margaret in the previous games because I didn't get very far in my New Game Plus of Golden before I switched to Memory Sticks and thus had to start all over, currently in heaven on my current file. And with Persona 3, I'm at the 3 tables in like the 2nd block or so in FES, and in Portable, I'm not super far either. So, yeah. Like, 3 is the one I have the least experience with. Although I still know the story really well because I watched the movies.
The movies really bare bones, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, like they didn't focus on the social links at all or anything, but it's just like
because they didn't have the time. If they had made the movies a little longer. Yeah. I mean, I know animation is hard.
But yeah, considering I hadn't really experienced the Persona 3 plot before watching the movies, despite like recently buying FES because FES is hard. But yeah, so it's just like, oh right, and oh shit, October. Yeah, that was my first experience with October in Persona 3. Oh boy, the tears.
Oh yeah. And fun fact, that's this same day as Nanako's birthday.
Yeah.
Funny coincidence.
For me, still the saddest scene in any video game for me is the one right after you beat Heaven.
Yeah. It actually takes a lot to make me cry at a video game.
Yeah.
It's happened very few times.
Yeah, just like Super Genius's LP. Guess this that scene. Oh god, the feels. Plays it myself. Oh god, the feels. Like, it's one of those scenes where every time I see it, I cry. Even though I know what happens afterward.
Yep.
But yeah, like with Persona 5, it is one of the 2 games I pre-ordered for this year. The other game being Breath of the Wild on Wii U, because I pre-ordered it before we knew it was called the Switch. Because
I was
yeah.
actually playing that for a good chunk of this morning.
Yeah, since I beat the Wii U version, I haven't played my Switch version much. Instead, I've mostly been playing ARMS and Puyo Tetris on my Switch. Because those are the other 2 games I have on cartridge.
Nice. I'm hoping to get a Switch before the end of the year.
But yeah, like with Persona 5, I pre-ordered the Take Your Heart edition, so I have the plush, the art book, the soundtrack, and the very, very useful school bag. The school bag alone makes it one of the best pre-orders I've ever done because it is so useful for both school and cons. Because just extra carrying room, yay!
I just pre-ordered the steel case.
Yeah, the steel case was also part of the Take Your Heart edition, but yeah.
Like, just steel case on its own.
But yeah, like, the fact that you get the plush, the art book, the soundtrack, and the school bag for only an extra $20 is awesome.
Sounds like it.
So yeah, with the midnight release of Breath of the Wild, which I was the only one getting the Wii U version, so I didn't have to wait in the line once midnight actually hits. Just like, midnight! They hand me the case. Here you go. Yay! Time to walk home. Because it's midnight and buses don't run that late. And then with Persona 5, it was a case of, okay, it's a school day, I'll just grab it after classes. So my mind was just thinking Persona the whole day. Persona. And then the next week, and month, and pretty much the whole year. But yeah, Persona is easily my favorite game series. Just because they do a great job at making the characters 3-dimensional, the music's good, the stories are well done.
Yep.
And of course, especially in Persona 5's case, the goddamn presentation.
Oh god, yes.
Like, Persona 3 and 4 already had really cool presentation with what they were going for, but Persona 5 with both its graphical style and the god-like soundtrack is, like, Persona 4 Golden had my favorite soundtrack of all time. Keyword there is had. But when you take Shoji Meguro's really good compositions and mix jazz into the rock themes, yes!
Yeah, that's actually pretty fucking cool.
Because it just fits the Phantom Thief motif perfectly.
Yep. I remember hearing a lot of people say that, like, the characters in Persona 5 aren't quite as developed, as fleshed out as they are in Persona 4. And while I kind of agree with that, the reason is that we've had more time and opportunities for them to be fleshed out. We got multiple games, 2 anime.
Yeah, even if the spin-offs did somewhat flanderize certain characters heavily. Hi, Chie. And of course then there's whatever the fuck Irina did to Akihiko.
Turned him into this, like, fist-only cowboy kind of thing.
Like, he's mentioned protein like every other sentence in the Arena games, goddamn. You know, when he only mentioned it like twice in Persona 3.
He's obsessed with getting jacked.
Of course, and then there's Persona Q, where it just had a huge cast there, and that not all of them got fleshed out, really. Granted, I'm also only on the 3rd dungeon of Persona Q, because the horror dungeon can go die in a fire.
I'm on the 2nd one.
Yeah, like, I like the Etrian Odyssey formula. I want to get the mainline Etrian Odyssey games. I have the Etrian Odyssey 5 demo on my 3DS. It's just a case of I've yet to get around to buying one. But, and Persona Q made for a nice transition to that, since it mixes Persona elements into Etrian Odyssey. But it's just like the 3rd dungeon. It's a horror-themed dungeon, which is pretty cool. The problem is some of the things they do. Like, sure, light element users like Ken get a lot of use there, because go figure, it's a horror dungeon. Lots of enemies are weak to light. But the FOEs are annoying as hell, and so are some of the puzzles.
Well, I can look forward to that.
Yeah. Like, the 2 FOEs, one is a case of you step on a certain tile and then it will start chasing you till you enter a door or a shortcut. And the other one is a case of, like, walk one tile at a time and try not to walk into where the tiles where the FOEs are, where they pop up when you're one tile away from them. So, a hidden maze type thing. Until you turn on the lights.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So it's the case of find the light switch without running into the FOE's faces. And the puzzles are just annoying because that combined with the encounter rate of entering Odyssey games just makes it kind of annoying just to make it through one floor. Because the puzzles get kind of annoying with what you have to do sometimes, like find this one specific area in the floor after finding a clue on like the opposite side of the floor.
Jesus.
Yeah. But yeah, after I beat very hard on my first playthrough, I proceeded to play Merciless on all my other new game pluses for Persona 5.
Good lord.
I also have the Dancing All Night and Persona 3 costumes purchased. Still need to try out the Persona 3 costumes because on my because on the file I just recently started up, I'm still at the intro bit basically. It kind of surprised me that for Dancing All Night they went with the its remix of it's basically like final song of the story mode instead of going for, I don't know, dance or something like that.
Well, they had to throw in reach out to the truth somewhere because the normal Persona 4 outfits give you time to make history.
Yeah, it's just like
I know.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like, all right, Dancing All Night. What are we gonna get? Dance the Lotus Juice remix of Backside of the TV, which by the way is my personal favorite song in Dancing All Night.
Yeah, that was actually a really cool one.
Because I already loved Backside of the TV. It made for a great like entering the dungeon song, and add in Lotus Juice to that, and yes.
All right.
So, what difficulty are you gonna play?
That's a good question.
Like yeah, like first playthrough I played hard, and then I've played Merciless on all my other 5 playthroughs, basically.
I'll go with hard.
Alright, yeah. One thing I found really neat about Merciless, because it does add some extra strategy when dealing with certain enemies that know weaknesses, is the fact that it ups the multiplier for crits and weaknesses to 2.5.
Oh, lovely.
Instead of the normal 1.5. Or wait, actually, is it to times 2 instead of 2.5? I kind of forget the exact modifier, but I know it's 2 or 2.5. Considering normally it's just 1.5 times the damage. So, you know, it's still, like, battles go a lot quicker when you know what you're doing. Or if you really don't know what you're doing and pick the exact wrong persona.
Well, fortunately, I have 2 that I can use to pretty much speedrun any of the dungeons, except maybe one.
Speaking of personas, I also have Izanagi purchased, which I haven't used him much because I was working on maxing out the compendium.
Yeah, same.
And Satanel and Yoshitsune are just beasts, especially when you have the perfect Yoshitsune.
Yeah, those are the exact 2 I was talking about.
Yeah, because it's just like, alright, just fuse a Yoshitsune, give it a crap ton of resistances, so it basically absorbs or repels everything but Gun, because Gun doesn't have skills for that. And then, just get Hasuo Tobi, and you're set! Goodbye, Super Boss! Except for when one of them dodges enough times. Like, when I beat the Super Boss, one of them did end up reviving the other. I just happened to knock out the other's health just enough because of the one that revived. Because the one that got revived was the one that I repelled everything of, compared to the one that I absorbed everything of. Kind of deal. So it's a case of like, yeah, you're back to have health, but you're losing that health very quickly because you keep hitting yourself.
Yep.
And I was a high enough level and trained in the gym enough to where I had more than enough HP to not even worry about the gun skills. I do like how instead of just hitting you with a 9999 Megadolion, they straight up all-out attack you, though. Because it's much more stylish that way. Yeah, because Elizabeth and Margaret, if you broke the rules, they just hit you with a Megadolion that does absolute max damage.
Yep.
But no, in this one, it straight up knocks you down with a quick, with a half-turn spell, basically, and then all-out attack you.
Yep. Shimigami Tensei loves doing those kind of bosses. You ever play Digital Devil Saga?
Not yet. I should mention the only mainline SMT game I own right now is 4, and I'm not super far in it because I play a lot of games. And I own 4 digitally, and I don't look at my digital library as much.
I have it physically.
Yeah, like, again, Persona 4 Golden was my intro to Atlas, basically, aside from, like, knowing Catherine was a thing. I just didn't know it was Atlas until I started looking up Atlas.
Yeah,
so,
Atlas sure likes to flaunt Catherine.
I understand.
I still find it I still love how they have the, like, Catherine set, because Akira really does look a lot like a young Vincent.
He does.
It's so weird though. Like, it's so weird how it's just like Persona orchestrated orchestra music, and then Hallelujah for the victory theme. I do like how they reference pretty much all the mainline games with the costumes though, including Shin Megami Tensei If. Because who would have thought to include If for a costume?
Yeah, wasn't that a new one that came out after this one?
Shin Megami Tensei If is like one of the SMT games that doesn't get talked about as much. But yeah, at some point I do want to buy more of the costumes. Just the fact that, you know, each costume pack is like $12 each.
I have a few of them myself.
Yeah. Again, I only own Dancing All Night and 3, and I went for Dancing All Night first because I really liked the costumes they had. And I really hope they add those in, and I really hope those are unlockable costumes in Dancing Star Night, because those are cool costumes. In fact, I was kind of surprised that that wasn't like Akira's default dancing costume in Dancing Star Night, considering they already had the models.
Yeah, they better be in there at some point, otherwise, like, why?
So yeah, like,
why would you do that?
But yeah, I'm looking forward to both Dancing Moon Knight and Dancing Star Night because I love the Persona soundtracks, and remixes of those are always welcome. It's like how it's like how one of the many reasons I'm hyped for Cross Tag Battle is possible remixes of Ruby songs alongside the original songs. Ruby being my favorite web animation, so you know, hey, let's take my favorite fighting game developer, take one of their flagship series, take a series they helped publish, take their fighting game spin-off of my favorite video game, and take my favorite web animation all into one game.
It's like it was made for you.
Like, the fact that all those series are the fact that all those properties are pretty well loved by the ArcSys fandom is just, I'm kind of surprised it didn't happen sooner.
Well, it's happening now.
Yep. And hey, and Under Night's a game I've been meaning to buy. And because some of my friends already have the game. And with BlazBlue, I've played like 1 or 2 of the installments on like other systems because I don't own BlazBlue yet, although I do want to get a BlazBlue games. In fact, some of them are on my Steam wishlist. Yeah.
I've never played a BlazBlue game, actually. I'm not that huge into fighting games.
Fair enough. Yeah, like, just with the 2 games ArcSys is making for next year, rip Marvel. Because you have Cross Tag Battle, which is a 2v2 game with all those franchises people love, and then you've got Dragon Ball FighterZ, which it's Dragon Ball FighterZ. 3v3 Dragon Ball fighting game.
Yeah, everyone seems to be pretty hyped about that one.
Yep. So yeah, just like, hey, they're making 2 team-based fighters, and Infinite's, well, infinite. So, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, one thing I love about ArcSys is like how they handle graphics and stuff. Because like with their mainline games like Guilty Gear, hey, let's take 3D models and stylize them so much they look like 2D sprites until you really analyze them, including smear frames on the 3D models. Yep. And for other franchises that they make adaptations of, really good sprite work, like say Persona 4 Arena.
Yep.
But yeah, right now, I'm just kind of waiting for Yang to be confirmed, because we all know they're going to add all of Team Ruby into that game.
Yeah. Like, I saw it on Twitter the other day, like, oh, they're adding Weiss. And I just, like, kind of retweeted it, saying, like, can we just announce Blake and Yang now and get this over with?
Yeah, because
And
like
you
I plan on
at it.
considering Yane is my favorite from Ruby, I plan on maining her alongside Yuna or Kami, or if she gets confirmed for it, considering there are a lot of Persona 4 Arena characters they can choose from, Rise, because Rise is my Ultimax main.
I find that kind of difficult to see them putting her in there, honestly.
Have you seen how she plays in Ultimax?
I have played with her a bit in Ultimax, yes.
Yeah, like, and my case is like, you was my main in Vanilla because I tend to go for main characters fighting games a lot. So it's just like, yeah, you was my main in Vanilla, and when I saw that Rise was playable, I was like, mission control's playable. I need to see how this works.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping Futaba would be playable in this too.
So yeah, if Rise gets confirmed for cross tag, I'm gonna end up using her and Yang. Otherwise, it's gonna be you and Yang. That will be my main team.
In the meantime, I need to replace my broken PS3 so I can finish story mode for Ultimax.
Yeah, I still need to buy like the DLC characters for Ultimax on my 360. I also just need to hook up my 360 again.
Yeah, because I still have a lot of my PS3 games. I have, like, Catherine. I have Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Mostly RPG stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of digital, like, old... I guess I could refer to them as virtual console, quote-unquote.
Oh, yeah, so one thing I just need to ask now, like, before we get to the actual section... did you get lost your first time when heading to school?
A little bit.
Yeah, like, despite me actually taking a Japanese train system before because I studied abroad for 3 months, I got lost myself because I was following the signs and the signs led me right to the "this place is closed for cleaning" sign, and I got lost from there. Took me forever and a half to find the other entrance for the Ginza line.
Yeah. Helpful delivery, man.
But yeah, they did a great job recreating Japanese areas in this game, much like they did with Sharp FE, because holy crap, did they get meticulous with Sharp FE. Like, the one vending machine I remembered seeing when passing by the 106 was a vending machine that is there in Sharp FE.
Yeah, from what I understand, a lot of the creators like to go out and like actually translate the real location as close as they can to in the game.
Like, even the fictional little street area that you live in this game is based off streets much like it in Japan. Like, I've seen photos that show the similarities, and holy crap. Complete with all the little random alleyways.
They do their research over there.
Yep. I also find it funny how, like, every single game, they never actually call it the 106, they always change the number to something else. Like, Worldlands with You changes it to the 104. And Sharp FE changes it to the 109. The real one's the 109, and then in this game they change it to the 106, I believe.
By Sharp FE, you mean Tokyo Mirage Sessions, right?
Yep. I like that game. Like, not what I expected from a Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem crossover, but I do like it.
You're expecting more strategy with...
I was expecting not modern day. Because, like, you know, Shin Megami Tensei, the mainline games, always had that, like, medieval, but with some post-apocalyptic mixed in. But, and then there's Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Mainline Shin Megami Tensei always, usually, to me, seems to focus more on the post-apocalyptic side of things.
It's just like...
It just happens to throw demons and shit in there.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know... And, like, Shin Megami Tensei 4 had this sort of medieval style for the post-apocalyptic world. And mix that with Fire Emblem, and you have this... And I could easily imagine the settings mix. And instead, modern day with J-pop theme. which no one saw coming.
Is your room. At least give you sheets for your
And it's a really fun game.
Coming.
I like what one list I actually have. I've been writing down candidates for throughout the year is for like top 10 games I played in X year kind of thing. Because might as well start doing that type of list. Since I mostly make countdowns. But yeah, so it's just like, all right, write down candidates for games I first played this year, and of course, number one's going to be Persona 5. And anyone who knows anything about my interests will predict that easily. Like, I plan on making a joke about like, okay, who here has seen my stuff before? Raise your hands. Okay, which of you did? Okay, how many of you did not predict this would be my number one? Those people who keep their like hands, some hands might stay raised. You guys are idiots. Yeah, and number 2 right now is Breath of the Wild, and if I get Odyssey before the year ends, because me with money isn't always the best flow, and I plan on buying Danganronpa V3 first so I can avoid spoilers.
I've already beaten that one.
Yeah, like I wanted to buy it when it first came out, but I didn't have the cash for it.
I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I didn't I was taking a break from doing what I did to just make some spending money every week or so, because what I tend to do is I donate plasma, and I was getting too much scar tissue, so I had to take a break to let the scar tissue wear down. Because go figure, when you puncture yourself with a needle twice a week, you tend to build up scar tissue.
No kidding.
So yeah, had to take a break from that right around when V3 got released.
Oh, the irony.
More like the darn it timing. Because and Odyssey is coming out this week, so there's that too, but I plan on buying V3 first to avoid spoilers as fast as possible. Thankfully, my friends who also like Danganronpa are really good about not spoiling each other. Well, granted, my friend Jacob loves to spoil himself if a game gets released in Japan first, so, but that's on him. Like, he knew everything about Persona 5, basically, like, when it came out in Japan. What?
I forget. Basically, when they started releasing details after the game came out in Japan, I pretty much just stuck to, like, main party character names. And even then, I didn't even really...
In my case, I just knew, like, which accounts to just skip over posts of, so I could avoid spoilers as easily as possible. Because with a game like Persona 5 that I've been hyped for, I want to play it as blind as possible, which I did successfully. But yeah, like, oh yeah, considering he's on screen right now, like, this was me with Sojiro at first. It's just like, okay, you're an interesting Guardian. You're definitely not like Dojima. Let's see.
Oh god, no.
Yeah, so let's see how this works out for you, considering you don't really seem to like me too much at first. Game keeps going, and by the end of the game, he's one of my favorite characters.
He's a bro. In fact, I've said this multiple times on Twitter. Sojiro is more like a father figure to two kids who aren't his than Dojima is to his nephew and his own daughter.
Granted, Dojima tries. He's just really busy with detective work.
Well, still.
And also the fact that he was still, hung up about his wife.
Yep.
Which, I always try to max out those social links as fast as possible because family ties like that really get to me.
Yep. It's kind of why Wolf Children is my all-time favorite movie.
Haven't actually seen that one, don't think.
Oh my god, you gotta see it. It is so good.
Yeah.
The music's great, the characters are great.
I think I remember seeing some AMVs about the movie.
And the animation is so goddamn pretty.
Yeah.
Kind of a standard for that director, Mamoru Hosoda.
What other stuff did that guy do?
He did some of the early Digimon stuff.
Okay, franchise I don't really follow.
Okay. Do you follow One Piece?
Favorite anime of all time.
Okay, he did one of the movies, Baron Omatsuri and the Secret Island. the one that never made it over here.
Okay, yeah, the only movie of One Piece I ever saw was One Piece Film Z, which I saw at SakuraCon because they were playing it in one of the anime theaters, and I had free time, so I figured, ooh, One Piece movie, let's go watch it. And to my surprise, and since I've been watching the anime subbed, and aside from this most recent episode that released yesterday, otherwise completely caught up. Yesterday I was chatting with friends for like 4 hours, like when the episode got released. So, but yeah, so. You know, aside from this most recent episode, pretty much completely caught up. So I've been watching the sub version, so it was so weird hearing the Funimation voice actors after watching like 700 plus episodes of the subbed version. So, you know.
Yeah.
Granted, I remember checking one of the CP9 Saga episodes to see how the Funimation dub did with the voices. It is so weird going from Frankie's more unique voice from the Japanese version, because it's the same VA as Mr. 2 in the Japanese version. In fact, Oda specifically asked him to voice Frankie, to go into like the stereotypical mobster type voice. Like, you go from a somewhat high-pitched voice with its own unique sound to it, to deeper voice. Kind of quite the juxtaposition. But yeah, Film Z is the only One Piece movie I've actually seen, because when I was catching up on the anime, I was skipping most of the later filler stuff, and the movies weren't in that episode list on the site I was using at the time before I switched over to Crunchyroll. It was one of those like fan sites where they just had like fan subs on the site kind of thing. So the name Kazoku Fan Subs is pretty familiar to me.
Yeah, and the Baro no Matsuri one is the only One Piece movie I've seen, because I don't actually follow One Piece that much.
Yeah, like, this is my history with One Piece, actually. Back when I was really, really young, like, late elementary school to early middle school, me and my brother... Yeah. Like, I actually liked that dub because young me had no standards. Like, me and my brother would wake up every Saturday morning to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And Sonic X, basically. And One Piece was on, like, around that same hour as well. So it's like, hey, ooh, One Piece, pirate anime, this looks interesting. And then cut to years later where it's pretty much gone from my memory, and I go, that name, I remember that. Checks out the manga I'm seeing, checks out the first manga volume from local library, starts reading it. Holy crap, I remembered it being okay, but not this good. Then I proceeded to catch up on the anime when I ran out of volume in the local library. So, yeah. Speaking of catching up, it took me like about 2 school years using a school laptop, watching like 4 or 5 episodes a day, basically.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who did stuff like that.
Yeah, like, I was so dedicated that I was buffering episodes on the site I was using while waiting for my bus to leave the school. On a crappy school laptop, so the buffer rate was terrible. Because KSD does not like you sometimes.
Yeah, on the laptops at my school, we actually had pretty good... We actually had a pretty damn good connection.
You know,
I remember watching...
Like, in my case, like, the Kent School District, we just didn't... It's just not one of the best school districts overall. Like, Kent Ridge, the first high school I went to during 9th grade, it was like... all the people I knew were acquaintances from middle school. I spent most of my time in the library, like, during lunch and stuff. Which one of the library assistants there got me into some pretty good manga that I probably wouldn't have read if he didn't suggest them. But, and then, like, after that I went to, KMVA, which is the school I went to from there on, where since I already knew someone there, I quickly made a whole group of friends. Said friends being the friends that got me into both Doctor Who and MLP. Which I really need to catch up on Doctor Who, like, badly.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still at the beginning of Peter Capaldi, and he's been going for, I'm pretty sure, 2 or more seasons now.
Yeah, he's on his way out, actually.
Yeah, and I'm still at the first few episodes of him. Because I was watching on demand, and guess what? I don't boot up often!
Your on-demand stuff?
Yep, because they kind of took Doctor Who off Netflix, which was how I was marathoning it at first.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
My aunt does.
Because last I checked, they have the modern stuff in Amazon Video.
Quick change of topic. Considering he's on screen right now, what was your reaction to the change to Igor's English voice?
My first thought was, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, like, I figured they'd do something considering, you know, his Japanese Seiyu died.
Didn't think it'd go that far.
Yeah, but the way they worked that kind of thing into the plot was beautiful.
I know. Holy crap.
Yeah, and like they still changed who the real Igor's English VA was, which I could tell just from listening to the voice when you get to that plot twist, which still threw me off a bit. But you could tell he was trying to sound like the original. So A for effort there.
Yep.
So nothing will beat when you first hear his voice in either 3 or 4. Especially when he did kind of refine his voice more in 4.
Yep.
Also, I've been watching Niskel's Persona 3 playthroughs as he's been uploading them. It still throws me off how the social links in 3 had no voice acting whatsoever. Like, you know, compared to like all the sequel games having the voice acting at least for like the first and or max ranks.
I'm sure they were still trying to figure things out with the new format.
You know, even with like Persona 3 Portable with the female route, they didn't have any voice acting for the social links. Because what Niskel's been doing is FES is the male route, Portable is the female route. As a way to show off both routes while also showing off the differences between the versions. And in my case, well, like in Portable, you can actually control your party members.
Woo! I know, right?
Because, you know, that was a feature they added starting with Persona 4 Vanilla.
Yep.
So FPS didn't have that shit. Which is why the 3 tables near the beginning of the second block have given me so much shit on my PS2. Meanwhile, with Portable, it's just I've been playing lots of World of Final Fantasy on my Vita, so I haven't booted up Portable lately.
Yeah, the thing, when I was first playing FES, basically my rule of thumb is, if you can get to the next barrier in Tartarus, you're ready for the next boss.
Yeah, like Portable, they give you slightly more experience than in FES, thank God. And the tired mechanic was also tweaked to where you don't get tired as battles go. All the tired stuff hits. All the tired mechanic stuff hits. It's either when you go to the lobby or when you leave.
Not in the middle of.
Yeah, no. And also, like the save point, like the save point at the entrance of Tartarus. Also, you can also pay yen to heal yourself, kind of like with the Fox, but also HP. So Portable is a lot more grind-friendly.
On the downside, they go from the normal thing to like a point-and-click visual novel kind of thing.
I mean, it was on the PlayStation Portable. There were going to be some cuts to the presentation. And it still works well, aside from some scenes being kind of weird without the 3D models.
Fair point.
But yeah, like for social links, it doesn't really matter too much.
And another thing that they kind of got rid of in Persona 3 Portable is allowing your main character to equip like any kind of weapon. You're stuck with one thing now. That kind of ticked me off.
I do like how the female protag uses Naginatas, though. That's a really cool weapon choice.
I can safely say I didn't expect that one.
Yeah. I honestly tend to forget that FES lets you equip different weapon types at times. Because I'm so used to the protag always having one weapon.
Yeah, it's really handy for keeping your party balanced.
Yeah. Or like when you're trying to sneak up on a gold shadow. Speaking of which, it's so weird going from 5 to the previous games, because, like, in 5, they have terrible peripheral vision. In 3 and 4, please don't see me, please don't see me, please don't see me. Like, I forgot how hard it was to get ambushes at times in 3 and 4. Especially 3.
Oh god, yes.
Because, like, the ones in 3 had damn near 360-degree vision.
360 no-scope.
Which made gold shadows a pain in the ass. At least the ones in 4, you could get them to run into walls to knock themselves over. Which is hilarious. Until on your way to getting them into a wall, you end up running into another shadow.
Surprise.
Especially if it's a red one. Because motherfucking red shadows when you're just trying to get a gold. But yeah, like, with Persona 4 on my current file, since it had to be a fresh file due to me changing memory sticks because I ran out of memory on the original one. And, you know, I like to buy games a lot. I tend to buy digitally a lot lately, so go figure, when you buy both Danganronpa games digitally, as well as Persona 3 Portable, and some other games, yeah, you run out of room. Yeah, you tend to need to upgrade from whatever the hell the base memory stick is for a Vita, because holy shit, though, the base one is small.
Oh god, yeah. I have, I think, 32 gig in mine right now. And that's still not enough for everything I have.
Yeah. Yeah, and with my PS4, when I bought it with Christmas money, I'd go figure, I buy like 6 to 8 games all at once, including, at the same time as pre-ordering Persona 5. So, go figure, in the end I end up buying myself a 2TB external hard drive when I get $70. Because I had to start erasing game data to install new games. In my case, it's just like, oh, I just beat Transformers Devastation. And of course, trophy is saved to the account and not to the system. So it's a case like, okay, well, I beat Transformers Devastation, I want to play this other game, buy save data! Because Transformers Devastation is fun, but Platinum games are pretty linear for the most part, so you can... so erasing save data is not too big of a problem with a game like that. Well, especially when you've already beaten it. And you can always just start... and we're going to start it over anyway next time you booted it up.
Yep.
But yeah, like, one thing I just love about Persona 5's presentation is how every single part of it oozes style. Even the goddamn menus.
I know.
Like, before you get your Persona, alright, pretty simple pause menu, you know, save, load, and all that, you're still in the prologue. After you get your Persona and become a Phantom Thief, holy shit! Like one guy I watch who has a series called Design Doc where he talks about, like, pros and cons of certain game design and, like, what to do and what not to do. He had a video on good and bad UIs that was inspired by how good Persona 5's UI is.
Wow.
So, you know, talk about the Persona 5's UI, of course, with how stylish it is while still being easy to understand. And for the bad UI, he was pretty much only ever harping on Mario Party, because good god, Mario Party 8's UI. Mario Party 8, by the way, is my second least favorite Mario Party. The first one going to Advance. Advance I don't even consider a Mario Party game.
Because it really isn't.
Yeah.
It's just roll a dice, go around doing things for X amount of turns.
Yeah, and also, like, the multiplayer comes from a physical board, so, you know, getting the game nowadays, good luck with that. Like, I got the game through GameFly back, you know, when GameFly was popular. So, at least I didn't actually buy the game. But yeah, like, Mario Party 8, like, for the console ones, is my least favorite of the console ones. Yeah, I actually do like 9. 9's my favorite, and 10 I do have fun with. It's just, like, the way they shoehorned motion controls into 8 in various ways was just kind of annoying. Also, I did not... the minigame collection was meh. But... yeah, like, one thing he pointed out that I actually kind of forgot about before, until he pointed it out in his little UI video, Mario Party 8's UI is very inconsistent with font and border size.
I haven't played it in a while.
But yeah, like, if you notice, like, within the same goddamn menu, like, even in the main menu itself, like, some buttons seem to have slightly different font border size and stuff like that, and, like, changing menus that can change the font style, too. It's just not a very well done UI. But yeah, one thing I'm really looking forward to is the Persona 5 anime next year.
Oh god, yes. And it's gonna be an actual series, so
yeah,
they'll have time to go over certain things.
Yep. And hopefully, probably, it will be the quality of the Persona 4 vanilla anime and not the golden anime.
Yes, the golden supplemental.
Yeah, aka the Marie Show. I should mention, I started with Golden, so Marie and Adachi having social links was just like, okay, they're in the game. Okay, they're just characters in the game. It was only later I found out that Marie was added in Golden.
Yeah, I didn't get into the Persona series until after Golden had already come out, and I still played Vanilla first, just because I had a PS2 at the time.
Yeah, like, I've owned a PS2 for a while. It's just when I first heard of Persona 4, it was through Golden, and I wanted to get Golden specifically, especially after asking, like, gameplay-wise, which one's the better one? Kind of thing.
Oh, definitely Golden.
Also, considering I was so used to Chie's current voice actor, considering I started with Golden even Let's Play-wise, when I saw footage of Vanilla and heard her Vanilla VA, I was like, okay, that's quite the drastic change.
Yeah, that's really different.
I don't even remember, though, what Teddy's Vanilla VA sounds like if I ever looked that up.
To be perfectly honest, I actually kind of prefer his old voice to his new one.
Again, I don't even remember his old voice. Also, while Kanji's VA did change in, like, the spin-offs and all, the current one did a great job of sounding like the old one. Like, it took me it took me a long time to even realize that they changed between Matthew and Troy.
Oh, yeah. You did a good job.
Yeah. Because both of them are really good VAs.
Oh, yeah. Matthew is
and-
the current English voice of Jotaro Kujo in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
In anime, I still need to start.
Yes, you do.
It's in my backlog. I have a lot of anime backlog.
I hear you.
Also, speaking of anime speaking of anime, just period. When are we getting season 2 of No Game No Life?
Never.
Like, yes, I am one of the many people that constantly ask for it because, goddamn, the way season 1 ends.
I don't like it that much, and even I agree with you.
Yeah, like, No Game No Life is in my top 10 anime. Although, like, my top 3 right now is, like, from 3rd to 1st at the current moment. Death Parade, My Hero Academia, One Piece. I really loved the way Death Parade handled its themes.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then there's that opening.
Oh, yeah, Flyers is amazing. Also, speaking of music, like, an AMV is how I found Death Parade, because this was back when I was watching lots of them. So it's just like, oh, this anime looks interesting. Looks up the title and the description. Death Parade and Death Billiards. Looks up info. Oh, so Death Billiards came first. I'll watch that first, and then I'll watch the Death Parade anime.
Yeah, I think Death Billiards was part of that same competition that gave us Trigger and Little Witch Academia.
Little Witch is an anime I am interested in, I just have yet to get around to it.
Same. And I have, like, super interest in it, because I saw the OVA when that was still just, like, the only thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I just love this. Just like, Akira's thought process. That's a weird app. Delete. It's back. Delete. Not. I should get my phone checked. God damn it, Joker.
ignoring the obvious Batman joke.
Well, I'm pretty sure everyone's thought up that joke in their head ever since they heard his code name.
Yeah, probably.
Like, before I knew that his canon name was Akira Kurusu, I always just called him Joker, because, like,
Kurusu. God damn it.
Yeah. But, wait, what? I kind of missed what you named him in this file. Oh, you don't have that menu yet.
You'll see it later.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like Persona 3, considering considering the only canon name I've really... the canon name I first got drilled into my head was the one from the movies. I tend to call him Makoto Yuki. Then you've got Yu Narukami, and then Akira Kurusu. And of course, before I knew his name was Akira Kurusu, I went, okay, Makoto, you, Joker. Try to remember, what was his canon name before the movies?
Persona 3 protagonist?
Yeah.
I don't remember him actually having one.
One common... people would always call him, like, the name from, like, one of the mangas or something.
Minato Arisato.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like... And then, like, you know, before the anime and spin-offs and all, Yu Narukami was called, like, Sojiro Sato or something like that.
Yep.
Or Seijiro Sato or something. Of course, you know, me getting into it through the games and then watching the anime and playing spin-offs, and the spin-offs, you know, basically being canon to the series. Yeah, Yu Narukami.
Yeah, they basically hammered that one home.
Yep. Also, speaking of Yu Narukami, thanks in part to his performance in the anime and also just his performance as Adachi, Johnny on Bosch is my personal favorite voice actor. Dude does a great job with the characters he does.
I have seen him. I have heard him in a lot of things.
Yeah, I actually went to one of his Q&A panels and even got a picture of Yu Narukami signed by him, so that was cool.
Nice.
Dude is hilarious. Like he told a really funny story he had once from from earlier in his life, and it cracked me up.
From his Power Ranger days, or what?
No, it was just like one of his average, like, going to work stories. But yeah. Also, the fact that he voices Zero in the Marvel vs. Capcom series is pretty cool. And then there was when I first booted up Danganronpa 2.
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise.
Yeah, no, like, I decided to live tweet my experience of Danganronpa 2. One of my friends got annoyed by it because I was always, like, starting each one with Danganronpa 2 hashtag to say, yes, I'm still live tweeting this, ignore account if you, or mute it or whatever for the next few hours if you don't want spoilers, that kind of thing. Because, you know, it's Danganronpa, you do not want spoilers for that shit.
Yeah, especially when you're able to guess them almost immediately.
But yeah, no, so, like, one of my very first tweets of it was like, holy shit, Johnny on Bosch, yes! Well, okay, without the swears, really, because this was when I didn't swear.
That was just the game.
But yeah, no... But that was just a nice surprise, because it's like, okay, first game, Bryce Papenbrook, awesome, cool! Second game, holy shit, Johnny on Bosch, because he's just one of those voices I instantly recognize. With my second favorite VA being Yuri Lowenthal. Which it took me a while to just have hammered into my head, oh right, he voices Makoto Yuki. Because since I don't play 3 as much as the other games, I tend to forget that. Especially since I watched the movies in their original, like, Japanese VAs. Because, you know, I watched them when they first released, basically.
Yep. I think they have the second one on Netflix right now. The second movie.
But yeah, like, I was excited when I heard that Xander Mobus was voicing Joker. because I first heard of him as the Smash 4 announcer, then I heard more and more of his roles.
Yeah, where I first heard the name actually was as Rufus Shinra in Final Fantasy VII Machine Abridged.
It's raining outside. It's raining outside.
I honestly forgot he voiced Rufus in that.
Which, speaking of, that series is coming back on Friday.
Yeah, I know. It's one of my favorite abridged series. Like, pretty much all of TFS I love their series of. Especially Hellsing, which, goddamn, the latest episode this year.
Oh my god, yes.
And I love that credits theme. If I didn't already have Nate Wants to Battle as my ringtone, I would totally make that my ringtone. Or no, not my ringtone, my alarm clock.
What song?
Oh, for Nate Wants to Battle?
Yeah.
I have the finale.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I made that my alarm clock back when I was really into looking up FNAF songs. And go figure, because, like, while I don't play the FNAF games, just because I am a jumpy pussy of a motherfucker.
Oh, same.
I really got into the lore of the series while watching people like Markiplier and DA Games. Speaking of which, yeah, the songs were how I got into DA Games. He's a really good content creator and one of my personal favorite YouTube musicians.
I actually got into him through Build Our Machine.
That was one of my personal like, I just love his bendy songs.
Gospel of Dismay is freaking awesome.
Yeah, that one's my personal favorite of his. Like, I want to get into covers at some point on my YouTube channel once I can get a good setup for it and a good way to, like, edit sound. Because Cyberlink is good for video editing, not so much sound editing. But like, the first collection I want to do is of DA Games.
Go for it.
Yeah, like, and I plan on calling that collection Press X to cover, or Press Cross to cover, however you want to pronounce it. Because, you know, his tagline is Press Start to Begin.
Press Start to Begin.
So, hey, I might as well go for Press X to cover as a nice little spin on both that phrase and, of course, the meme from Heavy Rain.
Never played it.
The meme being Press X to Jason. Because the beginning bit, you press when, like, during the scripted segment where your son dies, you can press X over and over to try to call his name, try to get him to show up. You know, that's one of those, like, characters sort of the player's sort of in control, but not really moments. I've really only played the beginning of Heavy Rain, though. Because I don't actually own it.
Oh, hey, Ryuji.
Which, oh yeah, I always want to pronounce his name Sakamoto, not Sakamoto, just because that's how I read his name. Ugh. Like, it's like the one Japanese name I don't pronounce the way they pronounce it, just in my head. Ugh. One thing I'm really looking forward to with the anime is hearing Xander Mobus do full-on voice acting instead of just the same persona names and the occasional line in the anime cutscenes.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I have a hard time deciding whether Fem MC or Akira is my favorite Persona Pro tag, because they are both snarky and I love it. Like, seriously, like, no, like, Makoto Yuki. Hey, did you get pictures of Mitsuru while you were at that beach vacation with her? Yeah, like, male MC. Yes and no are his answers. Fem MC. One of the choices, which is the choice you will be picking, I'll sell them to you for 1,000 yen each. I fucking love the Fem MC so much, and I really wish she was canon in some way.
Right?
Because I want to see more of her. I I tend to forget what her name is, though, because both her and male MC names start with an M, and her name sounds very similar to Minato Arisato. So I tend to get her name mixed up in my head, which saddens me.
You say that like it's none of your business.
But yeah, like, goddamn, she's one of the best RPG protagonists just with the whole like choose your own dialogue options. I'm not sure which is better, that choice or the time to button mash choice in 5. If you said you did not pick that choice in any of your playthroughs, you are lying.
Oh, I absolutely did.
Yeah. Especially with how much of a smug asshole Morgana can be sometimes.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, I love Morgana for it at times, and I hate Morgana for it at times.
Well, thankfully it's mostly directed towards Ryuji, so...
Yeah. It was nice eventually getting Futaba in, though, because, Morgana always, like, grandstanding himself while making fun of Ryuji in the battle quotes was a little annoying at times. Also, I really wish they had more than one line for each scenario for the characters that do that. Just, you'll get, way to go, Joker, stuck in your head for a while.
Oh god, yes.
Or no, it's, woo, looking cool, Joker. Cue all the people getting, like, war flashbacks of those quotes. Like, again, I love Persona 5's presentation, just, could you have maybe given us some more Navigator lines, please? Sure, it made getting the Futaba trophy easy as hell, but come on! Like, one thing that also helps is, like, every party member had their use. Compared to 3 or... especially with how backup members actually get XP.
Yep, everyone leveled up.
So it's like, in 4 right now, my first playthrough, I ended up going with Teddy, Yukiko, and Naoto for my main party. Because Teddy and Yukiko are good healers, and Naoto's a good damage dealer.
Yep.
I will never not have Yukiko in my main party.
Oh god. Why would you ever change her up?
Because she is just a really, really, really good red mage.
Yes, yes she is.
You saw it too. You saw it too.
And Naoto's pretty much always in my party every playthrough because Naoto's best girl in Persona 4.
Whoa, hold up there. Hold the brakes.
Come on, don't just stand there, say something. Stand there, say something. Hey, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm not afraid to state my opinion. In fact, I like to discuss opinions with people.
You really think so?
Like, I've always been a really open guy.
Calm down. Time out, man. We gotta run.
Personally, I say Yukiko's best girl.
She's another one of my favorites from 4. If not for her, like, well, her personality's good, but she's also goddamn useful.
Yes. More so for me, just because, like, her whole thing with her shadow, that's something I kind of get, you know?
Yeah. It's like, for me, one reason why Futaba's my favorite from 5 is because of her struggle is a very relatable one. Granted, they do a really good job with that, with, like, all the party members' struggles. Well, okay, then there's Haru, who's just kind of there.
She's cute, though.
Yeah. It's just, I tend to forget she's in my party half the time. Because by the time you get her, you already have a psychic-using persona in your set. Granted, the fact that her weapons are an axe and a grenade launcher are seriously awesome.
Yeah, did not see that coming. I thought she'd have a rapier or something.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm nice and adorable! Die! Which, that's basically her Mementos quotes, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I love about Haru, her Mementos quotes.
Oh god, yeah.
Like at one point, Makoto straight up has to say, "Okay, can we hold off on the homicidal quotes until you put away the axe?"
Alright.
I do like how they did a great job making each character's weapon feel different, like for their guns.
Yep.
Because, like, Akira, nice and accurate pistol. On, shoot everything. Ryuji, powerful but inaccurate. Morgana is decent damage.
It's a slingshot.
That does more damage than you'd expect, though.
True. And they even call that out too.
Yeah, and what was Yusuke's weapon again?
I'm not a big gun guy. I don't know.
Yeah, because like Makoto had the No, wait, Makoto didn't have a
revolver.
Yeah, Makoto had the revolver. Haru has the motherfucking grenade launcher that just hits everything. Oh wait, Yusuke had the machine gun. Well, On had the Tommy gun. That's what it was.
Ah.
Like, Yusuke's was just one target, lots of hits. Also, it took me a while to realize you could just hold the X button down for all of them. Before that, I was mashing X for all the characters minus On.
Well, if you don't mash it, you can switch between targets.
Oh yeah, no, there's that. Like with On, I tend to empty the whole clip with everyone, or until she hits something that blocks guns. Everyone else is just like, okay, one at a time, because On it's random targets. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
You're on the save screen for a while.
Well, that's because it's past 4:30 here.
Ah, okay.
Well, this was fun.
Yep. And wait for Opie to actually join in next session.
Alright, well, thanks for joining me.
Yep. So, from what I saw, like, we are at the point where you're in the jail cell, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to be starting.
Alright. Glad to see we got about as off topic as Brain Scratch generally does.
Well, thanks for joining me. You have fun with your thing.
Uh-huh.
And I will see you guys later.
Bye.